Blandford Nature Center's been here since like the late 1960s. And so we started off going out to schools and bringing nature and information to the Grand Rapids public school system. And now, going from a few acres to over 200 acres of land to be able to bring schools out here and get them outside and learning about nature. And that's continued on over the years.
So you really offer students an opportunity to get their hands dirty out in nature. I've heard a lot about beeps that are running around. Can you talk to me about what these students that are beeps are?
So the beeps are the Blandford Environmental Education Program kids, and so that's a 6th grade program of 60 kids. We offer opportunities for kids throughout the school year to do mentorships of the different departments at the Nature Center, so they can kind of get a behind the scenes look at what we do, especially if they have different interests, whether it's working with animals or working outside with plants, working at the farm, to kind of get that experience.
I've always came here when I was younger, and I've always really loved the animals and the nature and all the unique things here, and going to Blandford School definitely helped.
I've always just loved animals and coming to the Nature Center, so I wanted to try an opportunity to come here at Blandford.
Today we're here on a Monday, which means it's wildlife time.
Yep.
Talk to me about what you guys are doing today.
So with the wildlife department, it's a lot of cleaning and feeding. We'll start off in the mornings with cleaning cages inside, and we'll get those cages ready before different school groups start coming in for their programs, and then we'll get food ready for our indoor animals. And then we also get food together for the outdoor animals, and we'll go out and feed the outdoor guys as well. So
we were cleaning the animals' cages and giving them newspapers to use. And we're just making sure the old newspapers weren't in the cage, so they had a cleaner cage.
A lot of times we make a deal where they always have to work with the rats and stuff like that, and then we mop and sweep. And sometimes if one of us wants to do one part of a job and not the other part, we might switch or stuff like that.
it is a lot of cleaning and feeding, but I also show them how we provide enrichment for the animals as well, of we give the turtles a spa day with giving them little olive oil on their shells and skin.
Do you guys want to oil up some turtles?
Yes. My favorite part was probably when we got to take care of the turtles.
I like the snapping turtle.
The snapping turtle.
I like handling the turtles.
And some of these animals, I'm sure, really appreciate it because not all of them come from the best backgrounds.
Right.
Can you talk with me about some of the animals you have here and where you got them from?
So for our animals, we focus mainly on native Michigan wildlife. We have animals that will come in that we give a permanent home to from other wildlife rehabbers in West Michigan and sometimes other parts of the state or other states. We'll have animals that might have been hit by cars, that have permanent injuries. We might have baby animals, but we'll talk about with our animals why they're with us when we do our programming and explain, for example, I have a pet rabbit, because a wild rabbit, eastern cottontail, would not do well with being touched by kids and being picked up, even though we see them all the time around our homes.
You said, certain animals don't do well with being touched by humans, shouldn't be. I want to talk about Quilber, because you would think that maybe a porcupine wouldn't be someone who wants to be touched by a lot of kids, but it's a different circumstance here. Can you talk to me about his story?
So with Quilber, he came to us about 5 years ago now. And so he had been found as a baby in someone's backyard, and mom didn't come back, and so they contacted a wildlife rehabber that took him in. And so he became too used to the people that were taking care of him. And so she asked if we could give him a home at Blandford, and I was like, yes. So we took him in and worked with him, so he would be used to being handled for programs. For the beeps, that's one of their things that they enjoy, is that we'll go into his enclosure and I'll have them get his food, and then they can play with him, give him that enrichment, because again, he was raised by people, so interacting with people is fun for him, it's not scary.
My favorite animal is probably Quilver. He's really cute and he's playful.
How do you feel that time in nature, like time in the outdoors, is different from maybe time spent in a classroom? What's kind of that difference in learning?
I think, we definitely need that classroom experience, but you need that real world experience as well. Just like, I get a lot of kids that are like, I want to be a veterinarian, I want to work with animals, and it's like, if you can't handle blood and guts, you are not going to want to work with animals. And so it really gives kids that opportunity to see what it's really like to work with animals, kind of like all the different aspects, not just the fun aspects you might see.
I'd say that was really fun, and I would recommend doing the wildlife one because, especially if you really like animals, then it's really fun to take care of them.
If you like to work with animals, and it's definitely like the right job to do. If you're sensitive with like gross things, it might not be the best, but yeah, I think it's definitely, if you have the opportunity, you should take it.
And then also just being out in nature is so good, I think, for everybody, whether you're a kid or adult, just to get outside and kind of take some of that stress of being in a classroom. Sometimes being in class and testing can be stressful, so being out in nature kind of is also just good for your mental health as well.
We talk about your students. Their mentorship is coming to an end. This group that you've had, is that a little bit of a bittersweet moment for them and for you?
It is, because I think, for the kids, they always enjoy it. The fact that they didn't have to come this week, they could have been done last week, and they asked, well, can we come out? We missed 1 week, can we come out, next week? And I was like, it works with my schedule if you guys want to. Oh yeah.
I really like this mentorship, and I'm really sad that it's over because it was really fun and I liked playing with the animals, and I feel like I'm going to miss it.
Yes, I am pretty sad it's over. It's been a lot of fun, probably one of my favorite things here.
It's been awesome. I love helping the animals and seeing like what kind of animals there are in this enclosure, and just like experiencing it. It's crazy. It's definitely something I would recommend.
I'm sad about it because it was really fun doing it because you got to take care of animals and all that stuff.
What's your favorite part of doing this and being part of the Buttes experience?
I think it's enjoyable for me to see that not only how the animals kind of enjoy interacting with the kids somewhat, but how the kids just go, oh yeah, this is so cool. And even sometimes, kids will come in and be like, I like this type of animal, or I don't like these animals. And then they come in at the end, they're like, oh, I love this animal. And they kind of change that perspective and appreciate all the animals all the more.
Celebrating vibrant people.
Captivating places and remarkable things.
This is Living West Michigan.
I'm all about you.